Master Grade Gunner Zaku Warrior. A huge shout out to Otaku Modelers Guild for requesting the creation of this video. Also, thank you to Lou from Sci-Fi Anime for providing the model that's used in this build. This is the Gunner Zaku that Lunamaria Hawke used for a big chunk of the Gundam Seed Destiny anime. It is a modernized version of the original Zaku from the original Gundam anime. The contents of the box are unique to this master grade. There are 0 parts that are discarded and not used. There are also duplicate runners such as the arm and leg runners. There are a lot of huge parts that makes this master grade look a little more simple than other recent master grades. But it looks like there are a ton of details on those big parts for easy color separation using painting techniques. I can already see that this kit will be a bit much more easier to build than other master grades. Or maybe too simple. We'll see as we go on through the build process. Well, I can also see that there's a lot of colors in here. Good color separation, but I'm afraid that it will be too monocolor. I hope that's not the case for this kit. But I already see big chunks of red in the runners, which is very alarming. So the first part of the build is to assemble the body for the Gunner Zaku Warrior. There are not much site specific parts in this area of the kit. You only need to be careful with the alignment of the shoulder and the chest armors. I encountered a bit of trouble putting the dark red part into the inner frame in a few seconds here. It will not close properly if the peg and the slit connector are not aligned properly. I hit a bit of a snag in this part, but after a bit of back and forth struggle, I am able to jam the pieces into place without warping the plastic. You might have an easier time building the chest part now that you're aware of it. Thanks to me, guys. Once you're done with the struggle with the chest pieces, the small backpack, collar piece, and the front vents are easier to put together. Now you have a complete chest. The head part is only made out of 4 pieces. This is embarrassingly low part count, even compared to high grades which has more pieces to it. But it gave me a bit of trouble, sadly and embarrassingly as well. Take note that the clear part should be attached to the helmet part of the head. Pretty simple construction for an MG, but my fat fingers got in the way. The arm parts are mostly the same parts until the left and right hands and shoulder parts. The bends are impressive on this arm once it's completed. It can go full bend and very sturdy. The identical parts are what made this part of the build more bearable for me and constituted to a faster build time due to familiarization. Note that there's a part that would need some rotation in the body in order to lock it, which is the shoulder connector. It's a pretty nice mechanism. There are not much small pieces dangling around the arm, which would constitute the pieces possibly falling apart, which means this is really sturdy like I said before. The hands also include a closed fist and rifle handling hands for both sides. The right spiky shoulder is very simple to put together with just 3 parts. But it looks really good, so that's a 10 out of 10 for me. On the other shoulder though, the round and pointy parts need to be connected together first before attaching to the shoulder panel. This caused a bit of snag to me, as I keep on separating the 2 pieces before I can lock it with the left shoulder parts. The legs are pretty much the same as the arms. A lot of common elements to put in, so it is easy to build, but again, I still made a mistake. Remember, do not rush building the kit. Look at the manual. In here, I forgot to put the leg connector 2 times. So again, be careful and follow the instructions to avoid any hiccups like I did. But on the flip side, this small mistake could easily be rectified by using your hobby knife to separate the pieces. You need to be careful with this though, or else the kit might get damaged by the blade. It's called petering the piece. Once the snags are all resolved, it's time to continue building. The only real difference between the legs is the positioning of the side panels of the leg. It should be oriented in the proper place. There shouldn't even be an error for this because the pieces are snug fit anyway, so it's easy to know if you misplaced it. These side parts also have the ability to somehow move a bit as a bonus. This leg assembly is pretty long, so let's just enjoy the view and music. Now that we're done with the top part of the kit, as well as the legs, there's only one area left that is needed to connect these two parts of the kit, the waist area. The waist area is a pretty straightforward and easy construction to do. A lot of master grade Zaku should follow this example moving on. The front of the skirt or power cable assembly and the frame part of the skirt should be aligned properly in the end. It is easily seen when building it, and if followed properly, the skirts are also a no-brainer to build. It's also very sturdy. It wouldn't fall off like the old Zaku's front, back, and side skirts. I'm talking to you, Psycho Zaku and Zaku 2.0. The grenade should have the sticking white part in front of the suit. These are the things to be careful of when doing the skirt area. Now that we're done with the waist area, it's a good time to connect pieces together and build your partial Zaku. You know what, guys? We're almost done with the build. But this is where my regret and frustration came in. The weapons should be the first part of the build that I made. Well, the semi-joke aside, we'll start with the rifle. This rifle is pretty interesting. There's a magazine that the user can pull up and down or go sideways. Although the rifle didn't have much parts, be careful, by the way, when putting the barrel tip and the white part in it, because it should be oriented in a specific way, or else you'll have a hard time putting it in, or maybe break the plastic. And for tomahawk, the tomahawk is, well, two parts. Easy but pretty, not worth mentioning at all. The shield parts need some extra attention. There are two ball type parts that go in a particular order. I made a small mistake here, and I was forced to waste time because of inattention. The shield spikes also have their own place that you can put it on. We cannot just simply put any random spike in any of the three areas that you can put spikes on. They go in a certain orientation, and again, just like the rifle parts, you should be careful or else you might break or warp the plastic. Finally, the best part of this kit in terms of weapons is the Gunner Wizard. Yep, Gunner Wizard. This gun has a lot of interesting parts, big and small parts. Again, the big parts here work in an okay way. There is a big seam line in the middle of the canister, but it is bearable. If you're an experienced modeler, you'll be able to fix it. Again, the parts are pretty big for most part, but there are certain small parts that you need to take care of. One of those are the small black parts that needed extra attention so that you wouldn't cut it the wrong way. These are the energy cable sockets. Aside from that, the build is pretty simple. The gun looks nice, the gun looks sturdy, nothing's falling apart. This is like the theme of the kit. Nothing's falling apart, and it's very sturdy. And it's also good looking. But that rifle wouldn't. All in all, the simplicity of the build is a big factor for me liking this kit. The big parts are okay, it's very detailed, it is good looking. If you put a lot of effort into it, like masking and starting to paint it with a custom paint job, then the kit will shine. But for now, it's just a big blob of red. But still, it looks good. You can carry almost everything, aside from that rifle. The rifle doesn't fit the backpack or the back of the kit, and it's very frustrating. I've tried multiple times to see if there's a way to put it at the back, but the gunner wizard keeps on getting in the way. But that's okay. I guess we have to put in the arm and not use the gunner wizard. Well, that ends the review. And now again, I would like to thank Otaku Modelers Guild for giving me a chance to make something like this, Sci-Fi Anime for providing the kit, and Pitakun for lending me the mic. Thank you very much, guys. Maybe there's gonna be a part 2 of painting. We'll see. See you next time.